Okay, so I thought, well, Sarah actually brought this up, but I think it'd be a good idea to start talking about the pros and cons so far of what I think about that bug. Sounds wild.
You gotta go this way for the deer crop.
Talk about pros and cons of South Korea so far. So without further ado, let's start talking about it. Alright, so let's start talking about pros real quick. So I think the pros, in my opinion, also, just so you guys know, this is all my opinion. I really like the public transportation that they offer over here with the subways, with the buses. All you need is your T-money card, and then you just refill it. It's super easy. As you guys have seen, you just put it on the thing and it goes beep boop, and then you're through. So that's super convenient. I also appreciate how active everybody is here. Obviously this is a city, but like you have to walk basically everywhere unless you have a car. But for me, I think that's a pro because I like to stay, you know, walking, and given the fact that everything here is so sweet, like it's nice to work off all those extra calories that you're taking in. And then on top of that, everything is so central as far as like subways and everything. You can't really miss a bus or a subway. And if you do, like obviously there's more coming. So it's really not a big deal. So that makes it a lot easier. And you don't need a car. So that's less money going towards gas.
You can like walk around freely without having to worry about like walking back to your car or anything.
Yeah, and worrying about parking your car too in a city like Seoul. I think the second one is pretty obvious. All the coffee here.
Big culture is a huge thing.
It is like on every block. And as you guys probably know, I am a huge coffee fan. I drink it every day, sometimes multiple times a day, which is, not gonna lie, unhealthy. But I absolutely love coffee. So to be in a place literally surrounded by coffee everywhere has been really cool. So that's also another pro for me. The next pro just comes with being in a city, but especially one like Seoul, where there's always stuff to do. I come from a smaller town where there's, like, you have to physically look for things to do all the time in order to, like, you know, have fun. And so to be in a place like this where there's non-stop things and places and art and museums, just all sorts of different stuff like that, is really cool, really refreshing. So that's a huge pro in my opinion. Alright guys, I'm about to go down this big old slide. I'm scared it's gonna like skid my cheeks. Ow! I'd say the next pro is like there really isn't a whole lot of like violence. Obviously the violence still happens here, but like you really don't have to worry about people robbing you because there's literally cameras everywhere. And also like the biggest thing that you can do here to like make somebody feel like demeaned is literally making them, how would you say it, like where you just kind of embarrass them publicly, and then they put to shame. And like that's the biggest thing here. I mean, somebody tries to rob you and you like basically call them out on it and like make a scene, they're gonna be embarrassed. So whoa, look at that. All right, another pro is like people don't usually like talk to you very much, especially if you're a foreigner. Like, and for me that's kind of a big thing. Like I don't, oh, it's a little kitty cat. Oh, he has all 4 paws. We're good. Sarah thought I might have just 3 legs. Yeah, so people don't really like talk to you, which is,
everyone kind of just minds their business.
yeah, it's nice because I'm used to like small talk and like even to myself where I'm normally from. So like to come to a country, like people aren't always like hassling you. I very much appreciate that. I like that a lot. Okay, now getting into some cons. I think the biggest one for me, and this is basically out of sheer laziness, but in America, obviously you have a recycle bin and you have your trash bin. That's it. It's pretty self-explanatory what you can recycle and what you can't. Here, there's like 3 bins, and it's like hard plastics, vinyl plastics, and normal trash. But it's just kind of a pain, and it's just those extra steps when you're done that you have to go through in order to like properly dispose of your waste.
I think it's personally a pro because it promotes people to use less waste, because since you have to buy your trash bags, you're not going to want to consume and have as much trash versus like, you know, just not throwing away stuff all the time without consequence. Same with food waste.
Yeah, that's true. And then that's the other part is the food waste. So like if you don't finish your food with the food that you have at your house, you have to freeze it and then dispose of it later. You don't have to freeze it, but like, yeah. So I don't know, that's just kind of, it's different. So like I'm not used to that.
I like it. It's a pro for me because I think it helps people just be less wasteful. Because I don't know, I've seen a lot of people, including myself, consume too much waste or like too much food, and then you're wasting things.
Which, yeah, I do get that, and I do like the organization aspect of it, especially for people who, you know, do recycle. Well, like a country like this that actually utilizes recycling and like organizes it in order to like properly get the most out of it, I guess. Another pro, kind of going off earlier, is the activity that goes on here, like, you know, actual physical activity. Because there's so much walking, because people are always going at such a high pace with the subways, with buses, everything like that, everybody is like fit. Like they might have a gut, but like you don't really see obesity being like a huge problem here, just because everybody has so much walking to do. Even like 90-year-old grandmas are still running to the subway, which is like pretty crazy. So that's another cool thing that I really like. I really enjoy all the natural beauty here. Like you guys can't really see it very well, but that's like a little lake swamp thingy.
Well, that's the cool thing about Seoul. You still see city, but then you could be sitting in a forest, and it's like that in a lot of places.
Yeah. Another con would be, I'd say, like some of the foreign food, like Mexican food or even American food. I feel like you get so accustomed to like how it should taste, and then you come to a place like Seoul where it's not as good, or like, you know, obviously there's not a whole lot of Mexican people who live here in Seoul, so it's not authentic. Where America is so diverse, has so much actual, you know, diverse people living there, to where like it really does taste authentic. Okay. Another con I would say would be, as you can tell, the heat and humidity. I can't do it. Yeah, no, it's like, so I can deal with 70 to even 90 degrees of just dry heat, like that's okay. Like 90 degrees isn't good. No, Arizona was 100 and I was dying, okay? But 70 to 90, 90 is pushing it, but 70 to 90 I feel pretty comfortable with. But you add in humidity, like 90% to 100% like it is here, 80 to 100% I guess. It's ridiculous.
It's like an island.
Yeah.
And geographically speaking, there's more water surrounding us, and water acts like an insulator, which is why islands or places surrounded by a lot of water tend to be warmer. So like at night it's still like 75 degrees.
So yeah, and so like I don't mind the heat right now, like it's about perfect right now.
Cool,
but this
night.
humidity is just, it makes you so sticky, it makes you so freaking sweaty. It's gross. Okay, sorry for the noise. Once again, guys, my microphone is not working, so you guys are just getting the camera mic, which I know was terrible. So I am so sorry. But another pro is like how clean South Korea is. Like, this is just like right by the subway station, which you would usually think is full of trash, McDonald's, whatever. But no, even the streets are super clean.
A lot of public trash cans too.
Oh yeah, so that I would say is a con. The fact that there's not a whole lot of trash cans. Yeah, Sarah brings up a good point. For it being so clean without that many public trash cans like in America, pretty cool. There's literally another pro. There's a convenience store on every corner. It doesn't even have gas. A lot of them. It's just food, water, which is much needed, coffee. Oh. I can't remember what's about. That's not a spider. That was a cricket. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a cricket.
There's another one.
Got it. So, real quick, Sarah's gonna talk about living abroad. Dude, it just like jumped on me. There's so many crickets out here. They're just crickets, they're not. Okay, Sarah's got some stuff that she wants to say. Okay.
If you ever have the chance to live abroad, you should 100% do it, because a lot of people say, oh, you'll not, you never know what it's like to be in another person's shoes until you travel abroad. But I feel like it's a whole different ballgame to live in another country versus visiting it. Like going to a bank, setting up my bank account in a language I'm not fluent in, and trying to figure out life here on my own. You definitely have more empathy for like immigrants in general. Was there one on?
No, you're good. You're good.
Also, why I would say that's a con for me here, because
there's bugs everywhere.
There's bugs everywhere, and I hate bugs. I'd rather be frozen to death in the Himalayas if it means I never got to see a spider again. Okay, that's a lie. Just learn the struggles of like things, because people think you just moved to another country and like everything's fine and stuff. And especially going to a country where I like people that I don't look like everybody else kind of thing, definitely puts things into perspective of how you treat other people and things like that too, because a lot of people treat people who are different and they don't realize it in just little ways. And so it kind of helps you have more empathy and see things in a different light, for sure.
I was gonna actually list that as a con, I totally forgot, is like being a foreigner here, like a lot of people look at you different, or like they'll just stare at you. and it's just because you're a foreigner, and like
And some of it's not in a mean way.
No,
like
like-
some people haven't seen foreigners before.
like I've never felt like I was gonna be harmed because of it, or like anybody was gonna like mug me because I'm a foreigner or anything like that. But like you'll be on a subway or on a train, and then they'll literally just be looking at you for like sometimes minutes, and it's just kind of weird. But like Sarah said, like it's just some people have never actually seen a foreigner, or for us it's kind of weird because we're Hispanic foreigners, and like
Well,
I don't know,
you
like
look more Hispanic than
you just don't really. I've seen maybe a couple Hispanic foreigners here, but that's kind of about it. A lot of them are like from France or London, or I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more, but it's a lot of white people. So yeah, so that's been kind of unique for me too, is like because I don't really like being stared at, to be honest, and so like to have people constantly looking at you just kind of made me uncomfortable. But
Well, it kind of makes you mindful of like how how you maybe stare at others that are different.
yeah, that's the other thing too, is like I'll definitely go back to the States with like a new perspective on like I guess how minorities are treated, and like how I don't know,
mindful you
like-
are just staring at people that are
and it's weird being in a country where I don't speak a lick of their language. I know how to say thank you and hello. I can't even say goodbye properly. Like, so for people who move to America or live in America and start fresh and like try to learn English, and we give them so much crap about it, and I'll be honest, like I was one of those people. Kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
Kindness goes a long ways. Have empathy,
Love thy neighbor as yourself.
and as Jesus said, love thy neighbor as yourself. With that, have a great night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this vlog. Definitely a fun vlog, and I hope you guys enjoy this experience with me.